It's 8 o'clock, which means one thing: digestible snacks. I'm going to give you lots of breaking, digestible financial business news in this next segment. Please do comment below to your favorite parts and I'll cover more of them. If there's certain stocks that you want me to cover more, reply in the comments below and I will do that for you. Every day I do this, I bring the information from Robinhood, Sherwood, digestible snacks, giving you all the news and the information in the financial and business world. Let's get straight into it. Okay, here we go. Last night, the Dow Jones closed up 0.85%. The S&P was up 1.45%, and Bitcoin was up 5.95%, and the Nasdaq was up 1.74%. We had a great day today, and we're starting green again this morning. Hey, snackers, the adults only designation isn't just for bars and casinos, it's coming to planes too. Can you believe it? What's all that about? Is that something to do with the Mile High Club? There'll be more information on this later. A Turkish-Dutch airline is launching an adults-only section. Oh my gosh. I'm sign me up for those who don't want to hear crying babies. Nobody wants to hear crying babies, do we? Not really. As if grown-ups weren't disruptive enough. The S&P 500 continued to gain yesterday and again this morning, notching its best day in 3 months. Consumer confidence and job openings fell, boosting hopes to the end of the rate hikes. No surprise there. I've been saying for a while we're going to get a rate pause on the next meeting, and I stand by it. US job openings hit their lowest level in 2 years as hiring cools and workers stay put. Pre-Labor Day digest. Hot off the Labor Department press, US job openings fell from about 9.2 million in June to 8.8 in July. It's the biggest drop, the lowest in over 2 years. Quit rates, aka the percentage of Americans who voluntarily left their job, also fell to a 2-year low of 2.3%. While Wall Street expected a bigger job openings drop, new postings have fallen 6 of the past 7 months as more businesses take down their for hire signs. This is all good news, folks. This is going to, I'm sure, give us that pause that I've been saying we're going to get on the next meeting. Very, very confident of that. We should have a pause. There's no need for rates to continue to go up. Clocked out, openings are still above the pre-pandemic levels and unemployment is near 50-year lows, but fewer than 40% of workers say it would be easy to get their dream gig now. Cash checked. The pace of wage growth and overall compensation slowed in Q2 this year as worker supply and demand started to rebalance. Good news. One job, 3 finalists. No corner office. Gone are the days of corporate hiring sprees where candidates could negotiate their fatter paychecks and cushy perks. Don't try and ring me up and say, I want to work for you and I want $1,000 a day. You ain't going to get it. You ain't going to get it. In March, there were a record 5 million more job openings than unemployed people in the US. Now that number has dropped to 3 million. Meanwhile, megacorps like Amazon, Spotify, and T-Mobile, I only invest in Amazon, the other two, not so good, are continuing with layoffs and raising the bar for new recruits. FYI, the time it takes to hire a new employee hits a record of 44 days earlier this year. The takeaway from all this information: steep falls can lead to soft landings. I've been saying that we're going to get a soft landing. No one ever listens to me. Fewer job openings and less quitting can help take some of the air out of wage inflation, a big contributor to overall inflation. Since companies don't need to be as competitive on salaries, Fed Chair Powell has said that a cooling labor market and softening wage growth would be the key to curbing inflation and ending the rate hikes. We'll get another pulse on the labor market when the August jobs report comes out on Friday. Indeed, we will. Let's move on. Move on. Is that a real word? I don't think it is. Charged up. US states push higher EV registration fees to offset lost gas taxes. This was bound to happen eventually, right? All the people with the oil, they're all going, hang on a minute, we can't have this. Give it up. Get yourself an EV. Not your typical registration starting on Friday. EV drivers in Texas will pay a $200 annual registration fee. Boo! Plus a $400 upfront fee. Boo! For new electric cars. The oil people don't like it, right? The Lone Star State, which has the third highest number of EVs in the US, joins 32 other states in imposing some form of annual EV fee. This is not what we want, is it? Lawmakers say the fees offset gas taxes lost in the switch from fuel tank to battery, but critics say the charges are overly punitive. Lopsided. Texas EV owners will pay almost double what the average Texas driver pays annually in gas sales tax. You know why? Because there's so much oil in Texas. Everybody wants all those who live in Texas to pay fees for it. It's terrible. Let it go. Let the EV revolution take over. Just start making electric cars. Get on board. Texas gas tax unchanged since 1991 is one of the cheapest in the US. Meanwhile, its EV registration fee will be one of the highest. There you go. So you can understand that, right? Perception versus reality. The lifetime cost of EVs is still cheaper than gas vehicles, even in states with high registration fees, but opponents of the charges say they could still dissuade consumers from switching to electric. Battery burden. EV advocates argue, that the high fees like the ones in Texas are part of a trend, mostly in Republican-controlled states, to control potholes on the road to America's electric transition. Get on with it. Highway robbery or highway funding. Federal and gas taxes raise about $90 billion a year to build and repair roads and bridges. A 2020 study found that EVs had already reduced gas tax revenues of by $250 million annually, and those fuel tax dollars weren't enough to begin with. Congress has transferred $200 billion plus since 2008 to keep the Federal Highway Trust Fund solvent. What's our takeaway from this? The new tech requires new models. Unlike gas taxes, EV registration fees are one size fits all. So someone driving a Tesla for Uber pays the same fee as someone barely using a Chevy Bolt. EV charging station taxes have cropped up too, but it's estimated that 90% of charging happens at home. Experts say an EV gas tax analog will eventually be necessary to foot infrastructure bills, but a straightforward solution may not exist. Where else are we snacking this morning? Low battery Best Buy sales continue to fall last quarter as folks bought fewer electronics. Apple has also seen hardware sales slump, with consumers using their limited money on essentials over gadgets. PB Smuckers has a unique return to office plan. The Jam brand reminds me of, was it Hartley's? Remember that? Do they still make strawberry jam? The Jam brand is requiring workers to come into its Ohio HQ for 22 core weeks a year, and they can live anywhere as long as they're willing to make the trek. You can live wherever you like. They don't mind where you live. That's nice of a minute. But you do have to make the trek into work. Deficit, an ongoing Adderall shortage could worsen as students head back to school. Drug makers have struggled to meet demand that surged in the pandemic, and related ADHD meds are also being stretched thin. RX. The Biden administration initial list of drugs on its Medicare price negotiation plan includes blockbuster blood thinners from Bristol Myers Squibb and Johnson & Johnson. I have shares with Johnson & Johnson. Good time to buy, by the way, before we get this pump after Kenvue enters the S&P. Both of which have sued the administration over the plan. Swelter. US theme parks including SeaWorld said they'll offer free return tickets to guess if the heat index hits 110. That's very nice. No need to do that. That's very nice. Temperatures, extreme temperatures have park operators concerned that attendance will slow. All right. Finally, our snack fact of the day. I love this bit. US shoppers donated nearly 750 million at the checkout last year. Donated 750 million at the checkout last year. There we go. There is our digestible facts. Join us every morning for this live news. And if you want me to cover anything, or you've got any comments or questions about anything I've covered in the video, leave your comments below and I will answer all of your comments. Click above my head and you'll find the playlist and more information, like you can win $204 in cash. Go over here for the full digestible snacks playlist, and we've got some interesting ones. And later on, this video, as I'm recording it live, will come out on a live video. And if you're on an actual video with extra bits and pieces added, so if you're watching it now, leave me your thoughts below. And as always, don't forget, tap the like button. It really helps. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.